So, Doc, I've been sick for a while now. I get all sorts of chest pain and fevers and runny noses. Can you do anything about that?
KP?
And I have these weird dreams that wake me up in the middle of the night. Celestia knows I'm losing a lot of sleep anyway.
KP,
And then I get all these weird stomach aches all the time, and I feel like I'm gonna throw up at random points of the day.
KP, I am more than willing to help you with any troubles that may be on your mind, but you need to realize that I am not a medical doctor, just a psychologist. I cannot help you with the physical symptoms of whatever ails you, though I can certainly recommend a few ponies and perhaps even a zebra who can. My apologies.
Oh, right. They really should make that more clear in the advertising campaigns. Well, anyway, I've gotten really seriously sick for the first time in my life about early August of this year. It was one of the scariest experiences I ever went through because for the first time in my life, I didn't feel like myself. I'm usually a relatively happy person. I keep myself entertained and have a fun time enjoying life. But during this period, I felt like a part of myself was missing. I would get all these weird symptoms like fevers and stomach pain. My parents didn't know what was wrong with me at first. They thought I was just depressed, or it was just nerves or something like that. But as time went on and I showed no signs of improvement, it occurred to them that something more serious was in the works.
So what did you and your family do?
Lots of doctors, medication, and time was the biggest factor, really. I still don't feel 100%, but I'm getting better every day. It's so demanding and hard to have to suddenly rely on other people for everything. To feel like you're not complete or a whole person. I don't know, maybe I'm just rambling.
It's helpful to talk about feelings of deep distress, KP, even if there may not be an available answer. It is wonderful to hear that you're recovering, and I'm sure many of us are more than willing to wait until you feel ready to take part in YouTube again. And I can certainly relate to having so much stress that you actually develop physical ailments to go along with it. I can remember way back in mid-2014 when my channel had been taken down without warning and no immediate way of bringing it back. I felt devastated that everything I had accomplished on YouTube, all the work I had put in over the course of a year, was just gone. Forever. For 2 whole days I was a shell of my former self, not knowing what to do. Though I imagine things were a great deal worse for you, KP?
Oh yes. For months I didn't feel like myself. I could barely function doing day-to-day activities and always needed help to do what I needed. My parents were patient and took over my normal responsibilities, like driving, feeding me, making sure I took my medication, but I was in a place I never expected to be. I think many people see me as, or let's say my internet persona, as a bubbly, fun fangirl, and they forget that life and events like this happen to everyone. I'm not as invincible as I thought I was. I'm just a person, and to be living in a reality where nothing seems to be improving, where it's hard to find happiness and you constantly feel like you're going to get sick at any moment, was really hard for me to accept. I didn't understand it, and why this happened to me. I kept on going back, trying to see if I'd done things a certain way. Maybe I could have avoided all this. The other part of me tried to find meaning in my experience, or at least one good thing that came from all this. The light at the end of the tunnel is something hard to see when someone goes through something like this, you know?
Yes, I know. Trying to understand everything about why we undergo a tremendous trial can often just add to the despair because we really can't see all ends in life. Focusing on how much you could have done things differently can help us to grow, but there really is so much we can learn before that too will just add to the despair. In those moments of deep sadness, when all we can think to do is question our very purpose in life, there is often a sincere desire to shut yourself off from the world in the hopes you will avoid any further trials and begin to find some measure of clarity. This might help for a very short while, give you some time to reflect. However, I would hope that you would not push away those trustworthy individuals who genuinely wish to see you recover simply because you feel the need to be alone. Even when our instincts tell us that we need to do all in our power to stay in that safe space until we can recover, it is important for us to remember, even in those moments of deepest despair, that we cannot grow as individuals if we refuse to ever set foot outside of our comfort zones ever again. Naturally, I wouldn't want you to get back to how things used to be right from the start. There are good reasons as to why our instincts tell us to find a safe space in the first place after all. But I would encourage you to take a few baby steps, as it were, working yourself towards a goal outside of your comfort zone again. And if you're feeling afraid of faltering, running into unexpected struggles along the way, seek comfort from those who have come before you. Because no matter how dark and dreary your circumstances may seem, there's always someone else you can learn from and find confidence to follow in a similar path. And perhaps one day, you too can inspire others to follow in your path. Does any of this make sense to you, KP?
It's a lot to take in, but yes. It's just when you feel things aren't getting better, any advice that comes seems to fall on deaf ears. Not that it's not good advice, but it's hard to understand these things when you're in such a bad place both physically and mentally. It was honestly hard to find comfort in these days. You just feel so numb to the world and nothing seems like it will get better. I guess my point is, sometimes you just gotta keep on fighting and getting through one day at a time, because it will get better, even though it doesn't seem like it. It took me, for example, months, medication, and a whole other things just to feel like I had a bit of myself back again. But it happened, it just took time.
I suppose it's very much like that old saying, time heals all wounds. I don't know if I believe that time can heal everything, but there are many cases where time is really the only cure for what ails you. So, if we can learn patience and persistence, perhaps even our darkest days can be overcome. I sincerely hope you will find a way to lift your spirits again, KP, and when you're ready, become an even better pony than you've ever been before. Until then, my office is always open, as I'm sure many others out there are willing to provide a listening ear should you have need of one.
Talking always does help lately. I appreciate it.
Glad to be of service, Miss Possible. Take care, and have hope. It's good to be helping.
We'll be selling charity merch this convention season. And not just t-shirts like before, we have show-accurate plushies, keychains, necklaces, body pillows, and IOC. Wait, I'll go into TRC, or the Trauma Recovery Center, which is a UK group that focuses on helping children from abusive homes, bullying, and a whole bunch of other issues get the help they need. More info on their website. So if you want to buy some stuff, please check out this TeePublic store for new and old shirt designs. We'll also be doing convention store pickups. If you're going to any of these cons and would like to pick up your order in person, you can fill out this form here. Note that we'll only have some small KP items at the actual conventions, so we might not have exactly what you want, so I recommend pre-ordering to make sure that whatever you want is in stock and all that good stuff and ready just for you.